from? You've never been here before.
What's the deal with this 2.8-mile car?
1, 2, 3.
He is spinning the wheels of a very old antique car. In Kearny, Nebraska, and it is the start of our 2.5 week journey all around the state of Nebraska, and we are gonna stop for the stoplight. Yeah, we're in Kearny, Nebraska, staying at the Fort Kearny State Recreation Area.
Yeah, at the state recreational area they have, it's like 3 or 4 ponds. They may call them lakes, but they're ponds. You can go fishing there. You can do kayaking or paddleboarding, I suppose, if you wanted. Most people were kayaking and fishing. At this particular time, we probably will not go out there. If we do anything, it'll be kayaking or fishing.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're really looking forward to going to the arch that's over the roadway of I-80. Katie probably knows the name of it.
Forgot it already. We'll tell you when we get there. So we'll flip you guys around so you can see, because this arch goes over I-80, and it's like, it's pretty cool looking when you're driving up to it. So
very cool looking.
Let's flip you around.
To see the sights? Where are you from? You've never been here before. City girls.
And we have a city brothers.
You know what that is?
A buffalo.
Talk to. That's what the tribesmen called it. Tatanka, big beast.
So we are in the Great Platte River Road Archway. It seems like it's a pretty cool little exhibit where you get to walk through and explore, and they have displays set up. Talks about people who used to travel along the trail to go out west, but it was kind of a stopping point where you had to stop and get provisions and things like that before you could go along on your trail. So pretty much everybody stopped through Kearny before they continued their journey west. So over 350,000 people started the journey west, and along the trail, 1 in 10 died. So that's a pretty significant number of people. And then along the way, they would just ditch all of their belongings because they couldn't, the wagons couldn't pull the weight anymore. So they might have a family heirloom piano and they would just ditch it along the way because they couldn't pull it anymore. So it's pretty interesting to think about, you know, you start off on this journey thinking you're going to go get riches and have all these great things, but along the way you're losing family members, people are getting sick, you're just having to drop all your possessions out of your wagon so that you can continue on the trail. So probably a little bit different than our giant semi-moving trucks that we use to go from one place to the other. This is an interesting tidbit. Johannes Sutter, who is the gentleman that you see in the picture behind me, they actually found the gold that started the gold rush on his land, which would lead you to believe that he was probably set for life and had everything made. But in all actuality, when the people started swarming to the gold rush area, it destroyed his land and he ended up with nothing. So he was one of the most powerful and influential people in the West when the gold rush began, but because they found the gold on his land, he was ruined essentially because of it, because people just swarmed there and took it over. Interesting.
Our next stop was the Classic Car Collection, which is located in the world-famous Cabela's building, which is actually home to the first Cabela's. The Classic Car Collection is a collection of over 200 automobiles, mostly those of the Bernie and Janice Thalberg family, although other vehicles have been donated or loaned to the car collection since it opened. They have cars ranging from the early 1900s to the modern era.
What are you doing?
Back to the future?
That was cool.
So what's the deal with this 2.8 mile car?
There's a place in Pierce, Nebraska, Lambert or something like that. It was an auction that they had years ago. I don't know when that was, but anyways, this old car dealership that they shut down and just locked the doors, and nobody was able to go in there. And then I can't remember if the guy had passed away and the family had an auction, but you know, they had some sort of auction like 30, 40 years later, so these cars weren't untouched for that long.
We're currently at Heritage Park, which if you're ever in Kearny and your kids need to run off some steam, it is an awesome splash park, and playground equipment, a lake, you can rent boats and all kinds of stuff. So it's pretty cool. It's really super clean and nice and all that jazz.
Yeah, there's a lot of families that are here, so we know that it's greatly appreciated in this community, and we appreciate it being able to come here and let our kids, like Katie said, blow off some steam.
Yes. So we just gave the 5-minute warning, and we're gonna head back and do baths and all that stuff and close out the first full day of our trip. Woohoo! Yeah. So tomorrow we are going to go to Pioneer Village, which is supposed to be really cool, and then also the Fort Kearny State Historical Park. So we'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Our next stop was a quick stop at Fort Kearny State Historical Site. This park is located very close to the Fort Kearny State Recreation Area. The fort was established in 1848 to protect travelers as they went west for the gold rush. While Fort Kearny was not heavily fortified, it did serve as a way station and supply depot for those headed west. It stayed active until 1871 after the completion of the Union Pacific Railroad.
Oregon, it said this way.
Keep forgetting to affix our sticker.
Okay. Hot, 2, 3, 4. Hot, 2, 3, 4. Hot, 2, 3, 4. Hot.
You're not in a very straight line, soldiers.
Hot, 2, 3, 4. Hot,
There they go.
3, 4. Hot.
What are you guys dressed as?
A soldier.
A soldier? What are you girls?
We are
Pioneers, yes. Are you soaking wet?
Very so.
Well, we got in. We were gonna talk out like in the fort, but yeah, that didn't go as planned. We started hearing thunder, so we kind of ran to the fort. I'm dripping with water everywhere. And so then we did the museum and stuff afterwards, and we were watching the informational video, which was actually, it had good information. One of the things that we learned was that the Oregon Trail, right? The Oregon Trail was actually discovered by people coming from the west, right? It was the Oregon Trail.
Yeah, they're going from the west to the east.
Yeah, so it was like traders that had gone around, you know, the tip of South America, right? And come up and landed in Oregon, and then they were coming back to the east.
I think they landed in Washington somewhere.
Yeah, but that was interesting because none of us had, like, not even my mom and dad had known that the Oregon Trail was discovered by people coming from the west, not going west.
It's definitely for people going west. So.
Yes. So now we're gonna go back, clean up camp, and we were gonna go to Pioneer Village, but it looks like the rain's gonna last a while, so we will see what happens. Well, the rain let up and we made it to Pioneer Village, so we got to do, oh, Oliver, no.
Spin them wheels.
He is spinning the wheels. of a very old antique car. But the rain let up, so we got to go do more exploring. So this place has almost as many vehicles as the classic car place does, but it's got like all kinds of stuff outside. So we're gonna go see what there is to see, right?
Pioneer Village.
Woohoo!
Minden, Nebraska.
Do you know him? I don't know him. Says okay to touch.
It's fun out here. Let's go check the whole thing out. Let's get inside this big car.
You're gonna take all of them?
I took all of the stuff.
I don't think you have enough stuff in your room in your wagon.
Well, yes, we do.
You do?
X, Y, and Z. Next time, won't you sing with me?
They put you in there when you were in trouble.
They lock it.
Daddy's natural habitat. He's making these brooms right here.
This just happens to be 50 or 60-year-old people.
Well, we made it through Pioneer Village. It was way bigger than I thought it was.
30 buildings.
Yeah, huge.
30 spots to see.
Yeah.
28 buildings.
Yeah. We didn't
Crazy.
even do all of it because it was too much.
Especially for young children.
Yeah.
I think if it's just adults, it would have been doable, but
Yeah. It was just the GoPro yelling at us. Yeah, I mean, I think we could have gotten through all of it, but I think we probably would have taken 3, 4, 5 hours to get through all of it. Like, it's giant. So plan accordingly if you're gonna go. Apparently it's been around for a really long time. Like even my mom went when she was a kid. So
60s.
yeah, in the 60s. So it's been around. It is a staple. I mean, it's, you know, if you've got the time to stop by, there is an RV park there. We parked the RVs at a lot just across the way, like the visitor parking. So there wasn't anybody else in there. So we just parked over there, and since we've lucked out and the weather has been nice and cool for July, we opened the windows for Bella and let her hang out while we went through. And so now we are on the road again. We are headed to Ogallala, to Lake McConaughey, Lake Mac. Hey Maddie, what should they do if they like this video?
Like and subscribe and give us thumbs up.
Yeah. We always like those thumbs up. And make sure to give us a comment. Have you ever been to Kearny, Nebraska? Do you even know where it is? Oh, I almost forgot. One of the big things about Kearny is that in the spring, you can come out for the crane migration. Like, it is headquarters of the Great Crane Migration. We've been out for the crane migration. It was actually by chance. We didn't know that it was going on when we went out there, but it was. And they are everywhere. I mean, the sky is just filled with them. There are thousands and thousands of these things flying all over. And Kearny is like, for some reason, it's the central point where they all come for their migration and stuff. So mating and all that good stuff. So it's kind of cool to see because there are so many birds. So there is a good reason to come to Kearny, like I said. But
And there's lots of squirrels.
Lots of squirrels. The Great Squirrel Migration.
who knew? Kearny's apparently headquarters for squirrels too. All right, well, give us a thumbs up
Make sure to subscribe, click the bell so you don't miss any of the videos, and we'll see you on the trail. Bye.